Okay, just a quick video to flag up a couple of slightly different Chinese-made ATS receivers that I've come across. And the first one here is an ATS 100. Now, this looks very similar to the ATS 25 with the colourful display screen, the big display screen. And it's a little difficult to see what the difference is between this ATS 100 and the ATS 25. The tuning knob seems to be a little bit smaller than the one on the ATS 25, that's for certain. And it looks like maybe the firmware is a little bit different, just from looking at the display. It looks slightly different from the standard firmware display on the ATS 25 as it ships to you. The price is certainly for UK buyers looks to be a fair bit cheaper than the ATS 25 equivalent. Here we can see another picture of it, and it says it's supports a broadcast search function, numeric keypad, directly input frequency, which is the same as the ATS 25. If we look at the rear panel, again, looks much the same as the ATS 25, but this is labelled as an ATS 100 and comes in here at 59.17, which will be also subject to VAT, so you'd have to add another 20% on there, but a little bit cheaper than the equivalent ATS 25. The specifications look very much the same. And the next one I spotted was an ATS 60, the ATS 60. Now this looks like a modified ATS 25 with the small OLED screen. Here you'll see it's got pretty much the same screen, I think. But instead of the buttons for band and volume and mode and so on, we haven't got any of those micro switches, those little buttons on the front. We've just got a centrally placed OLED screen, and we've got one tuning knob. So I'm guessing that you're going to have to use this knob, probably the push button function of this tuning knob, to select the other features, most likely. Again, if we look at the rear of the receiver, it looks very similar to the ATS 20. We've got the little micro switch for FM AM. We've got an antenna jack, a headphone jack, the little micro switch for off and on, a charge LED, and what looks to be a USB-C connector, just one USB-C connector on the rear. Again, this is advertised as having an automatic search function. Software mute, they're actually showing that as a feature. I would say it's a big disadvantage. It's the muting that makes these radios so annoying to use, particularly on SSB. But they've got it down here as a plus, I guess. And digital display, of course. The display looks to be the same size as the one on the ATS 20. Again, the firmware is possibly slightly different from the standard one the ATS 20 ships with, because just looking at the display here looks a little bit different. So there you go. This one's coming in at £35 UK pounds, which again would be subject to an additional 20% for VAT. But this one's reasonably priced. Not much different from the ATS 20. I'll see if I can. Is there a 20 listed here so we can compare prices? I'm not sure if we've got a listing for the 20 down at the bottom here. Yeah, so the 20 is coming in at £32. And the 20 plus, which I recommend if you really want one of these radios and you want the original, get an ATS 20 plus, because the encoder is much better. The ATS 20 plus is coming in there at £34, and this ATS 60 is much the same price. It's coming in at £35, so maybe worth a look. maybe it'll be more complex to operate because it hasn't got the little buttons on. But we'll see. So there we go. Two slight variations on the ATS receivers.